boys and girls. Today we are working on the partial sums method for addition. Now, you might not prefer this method, and that's okay. I don't actually prefer this method either, but I do use it sometimes, so it's a good strategy to try. So, I want you to at least try it, see if you like it, and then maybe you'll end up wanting to use it. If not, we're going to learn another strategy next week where you might prefer that one better. So I'm going to go ahead and follow these steps to make sure I am solving it correctly. So here the problem is 329 plus 418. Now with the partial sums, I start in the farthest left digit. That's the hundreds place here. Okay, if it didn't have a hundreds, the farthest would be the tens. But this one does have a hundreds, so I'm going to start over here. So this 3 really means 300. So I'm going to write 300. And this right here is the other 100 and the next number. And that 4 really means 400. So I'm adding 300 plus 400. And I'm going to try to equal that. So 300 plus 400, that's 700. I'm going to cross out these numbers to know I already added those together. Okay, so I'm going to step out of my model for a minute and talk about to you with my thinking. So I didn't just write 3 and 4. I used the actual place value of these numbers. Just like in our mental math, where it had you do the expanded form, that's what I'm doing here. I took the 3 and knew that that was really 300, and the 4, and that was really 400, just like in our mental math. So now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do that with the tens place next. So I did the first step, and now I'm going to write the values here, and I'm going to add those two together, did that. So now I'm going to do the next step. So I'm ready for the tens place. Okay, so I'm going to step back into my model and show you how I would do that. All right, so here I see this is a 2, but I know this is the tens place, so that's really two tens, and two tens means 20. So I'm going to write the number 20. And then here for the next number, I see this is a 1. So that's 110, and that just means 10. So I'm going to put 20 plus 10, which equals 30. And I'm going to go ahead and line that up in the correct spot so I can clearly add it as I'm working at the end, because at the end I'm going to have to add up all these numbers, and I want it to clearly be able to add. Okay, so I'm going to step out of my model again. So I was working on the tens place here, the 2 and the 1. Why did I have to line it up? Why was that important? Well, I didn't have to line it up, but then I would have to rewrite it again when I was done to make sure my ones, my tens, and my hundreds were all lined up. Because you can't add the hundreds with the tens because it just doesn't work that way. You have to make sure you're staying in the right place value. Okay, so this, instead of having to do it twice, I made sure I did it all at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to step back in and finish this problem. All right, so now I see I did my tens. I did the two tens and the 110, and now I need the ones. So this 9 is 9 ones, so that just means 9. So it really is what it says. And then the next one is 8. So I'm going to write that down here. 9 plus 8, and I know 9 plus 8 is 17. So I'm going to write 17, and again, I'm lining it up to make sure that I have the ones all in the same place, the tens all in the same place, so all the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. Good. So now I'm going to go ahead and add that all up. So I have 0 plus 0 plus 7. Well, 0 plus 0 is 0, so that just leaves me 7. 0 plus 3 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. And then 7 plus nothing is just 7. So my answer here is 747. I'm going to circle that to show my thinking. And now it says here to check my work by solving an estimate. So 329, I'm going to say that's close to 300. And I'm going to say 418 is close to 400. And 300 plus 400, that's actually what I did in my first digit over here, my first part here. And so I already know that's 700. 747 is close to 700. They're near each other. So I'm going to say that answer makes sense. So I'm going to give myself a check for that. Okay, so you are going to go and try to use this same strategy, this same method on a couple of problems. Again, if you don't like it, you can use a different strategy you already know. And if you don't know that one, maybe you'll like the one we learn next week. Try it out and see what you think. Bye, guys.